Howdy toddy, Rebel fans, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in Rebel Nation. Welcome into episode 35 of the Rebel Nation Conversation. I am Umrebelfan69, and my co-host is the Metal. Together we make up the Rebel Nation Conversation podcast, your one-stop shop for uninformed and non-expert Ole Miss sports conversation.
Unsullied by sponsorship since 2025.
That's right. Again, folks, if you're watching us on your TikToks, I invite you come on over there to the YouTube channel, catch it where we host the show. It's located at youtube.com/at the RN Convo. Well, Metal, did you have a good visit today with your mother?
I did, man. I had a great visit. I wish she wouldn't have had to do this, or I wish she wouldn't have done this, but she cooked a big spread, and it was better than anything we could have gone out to eat. I'll tell you that. But I just hate for her to have to spend the day in the kitchen on Mother's Day. But she wasn't.
She's like my mother. She probably
She wouldn't want
enjoyed
it any other way.
Yeah, if she's like my mother, she probably enjoys that part of, being able to cook for her family and getting everybody back together. That was probably the best, to her, it was probably the best Mother's Day y'all could done for her,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it was her choice for sure.
Here I am stuck out in the New Mexican prairie out here, so I wasn't able to visit with mine, but we normally try to do steaks or something like that when
Your mother live in Hattiesburg?
Yeah, she lives in Hattiesburg. Just down south of town towards a little old community called Dixie Community, around Paul B. Johnson State Park. Well, I guess me and you we're just a couple of the fortunate ones. We still got our mothers around with us right now, and that's I'm thankful for that. My wife.
Speaking of Dixie.
Yeah.
Dixie is within the school district of Forest County Agricultural High School.
It sure is. That's one of the
I heard last week that this graduating class at Forest County Agricultural High School I'm not sure how large the class is. What would you say if you had to guess at the size of the graduating class? 80, 100? More than that?
100. Well, we're 4A school now. Where when I graduated there, and back in the 80s, it was only a 3A school. And we had about 85. So I'm gonna figure now we'll probably be 100 to 115 range, somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, anyway, I heard that at least 3 students had made a minimum of 34 on the ACT. And I'd have had to take it twice to make that score. So I thought that was pretty impressive, man. Those just good old down home country people out there. But dummies, they are not. And so shout out to FC AHS, man.
AHS.
That's pretty impressive. That's unusual. So good for them. My GM at work is her daughter is one of those kids, and she is getting ready to go to a full ride to the University of Mississippi in Oxford, Missippi. I don't know if you've ever been there before, but pretty good place. So she's got some good times ahead. But just wanted to throw that in. I know you're an alumni of that school, and that's something to be proud of, man.
Yes. Yeah, I'm proud of that. That's I didn't know it, so I appreciate you bringing it to my information there.
Yeah.
Let's see, top 10. Let me bring up here. There was something that you said since it was your DM. Yeah, this year we have, not only is it, normally just a valedictorian and salutatorian, but this year we actually got a historian showing up in here, so I'm assuming that those top 3 graduating there. Normally, I mean, I'm sure we always have a historian, which is like third in your class, but they just never mention it. And this year they've mentioned it, so it might be a tie. So I don't know. What is your DM's last name?
The person whose name is number 3, you don't have to say it. But if it does it start with an M,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
that's going to be them.
Yep. So she's the one going to Ole Miss. Outstanding.
Yep.
And that's another thing too. That school's a big pipeline for state because it is a land grant school. It's one of the
Agricultural high school.
it's one of the 2 agricultural high schools in the state, and it's the only one. When I graduated there, it's the only one that had a school farm, and we have an extension office on campus for state. So it's a big pipeline to start with. So to even get 1 or 2 students to commit to going to Ole Miss is a big deal there for me.
First time I ever went there, I see my nephew play football, and we pull into that place, and right in front of the school there was 4 or 5 head of cattle just moseying around through the campus. And I said, okay,
Yeah, that's what this place They ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah,
they weren't supposed to be there. They done got out. In fact, they might not have even been to schools. Even though the school has cattle, it may not have been theirs. It could have very well have been
Maybe, but I got to tell you, with everything I had heard and driving up seeing that, boy, it sure fit mighty good.
Well,
so
there's a lot of history at that school.
Truthfully tell that story.
A lot of history at that school. It's one of the oldest in the state. I challenge you to try to learn a little more about it, and I can help with that. It's a pretty storied past. But let's get on
and
what we. Sorry.
One more thing. They do wear maroon and they do ring cowbells. Is that, or is that not?
Yeah, they do, and they wore maroon when I was still in school, but we did not ring cowbells. They've been there. Somebody brought that. Maybe when we got the extension office, I don't know.
Man.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, you can't have everything.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of us Rebel fans that have to wear maroon every now and then, I guess. But,
hold your nose and.
Yeah. I whenever the school puts on a fundraiser, T-shirts and stuff like that, I always buy some. I try to help out a little bit down there as much as I can, but I always say I want the gray option with the maroon lettering. I don't want the maroon with the gray lettering. I want the gray with the maroon lettering. I want as little bit of maroon as possible. But,
speaking of our friends in Starkville, I got something I want to bring up on the show about Mississippi State baseball, but we can get going and then we didn't have much of a pre-production this week, so we'll just kind of take it off the cuff.
Yeah, me out here at work, we're shooting a lot of this one from the hip, man. I'm telling you. Been kind of it's a slow period of the year, with only really 2 sports really ongoing now, not counting golf. The 2 major sports, and that being baseball and softball. I guess we got to give a shout out to the girls softball team. They made a pretty good run at the Southeastern Conference tournament before getting put out. I'm sure they'll play. I think they will go on and play in the postseason. I haven't seen, but still, pretty good finish. They come on strong at the end of the year after they had a terrible schedule. I'm talking about a schedule that was just unreal hard. But
the selection show, I guess, is today, huh? For softball?
Maybe. I don't know. I hadn't got a chance like I say, working out here, and I miss so much, man. I catch on the important stuff, and then I miss a lot of the small details. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, it's the slow period of the year, so not much really to talk about in football news. In fact, this whole show, as Metal alluded to, sans the baseball segment, is going to be pretty much just a big from the board segment. The first thing I got to kind of discuss is I did see the other day by Rebels 247 beat writer Chase Parham that ESPN was really close to going ahead and pulling the trigger and naming Oxford as their September 19th destination for game day. I don't really... obviously, we want the publicity. It's great to have them on campus for that deal, but, man, this one... I'm not particularly looking forward to that game, Metal. What about you?
I'm not either because, I'm 53 years old. I've followed Ole Miss football as long as I have memory. And there's never been a singular game that I wanted to win any more than that game. And, I get myself worked into these states anyway. I mean, I don't eat for 3 days before we play, Central Michigan. So that's just going to be a long week for me. I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to all the stuff around it. The other guy popping off and the media baiting him, and he's going to take the bait, and just all of that there, man. I think a lot of people will be glad when that week is behind us and we can play out the rest of the season. Now, as far as having game day there, I want them to be there. I mean, that's just outrageous publicity for Ole Miss, which is never bad. And I think they're a little nervous about the LSU possibly losing to Clemson in week 1. And hell, we could lose to Louisville. And I think they don't want, in week 3, both teams coming in already with ugly losses, but they're going to do it, man. It's just going to be too much around that game.
Yeah, it's too much circus. That's what I don't want. I don't want the circus that's involved in this, man, because Blaine's going to make it about Lane. Win or lose for LSU, he's going to figure out the way to make him a victim in this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a victim leading. He's going to be playing victim mentality going up to the start of the game.
Yep.
And then if they win, he's going to be the hero, that overcame the adversity. And if he loses, he's still going to be the victim. He's going to figure out.
Well, if he loses, see, that's still the team that Lane built. So look at what we've got to look forward to at LSU. That's the kind of roster he put together. And really, I don't give him any credit at all for this year's roster, because now in college football, it's
it resets
year by year deal, man.
I mean, basically, Golding had to recruit every single one of those guys again, to keep them in Oxford.
Including 2 of probably the most sought-after players in college football.
Yep, with Chambliss and Lacey. My thing here.
Dad told me today that he read where Trinidad is set to make $6 million this year.
Yep. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. With all the endorsements and other stuff coming with NIL, because that could be, that's separate from the actual school too. Because he can farm his own NIL agreements out there, through agents. But here's one other thing and note that I want to put down about that game that week. I think we've mentioned it here before, but man, please don't let that game kick off any later than 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You think about that, even being a 6 o'clock game. As much as we like night games, and I do, I love them, especially early on in the year. But good Lord, you let everybody sit in that grove, especially a bunch of pissed off coon asses or obnoxious coon asses, not so much pissed off ones, but getting well lubricated up by 6 o'clock. What do you think? Man, I don't even know if the Lafayette County Jail is big enough to hold everybody that's going to be in fight.
The only reason I would like to play at night is just to piss Lane off, because he always made such a big deal about how we never got home games at night.
Yeah. I know that Oxford PD would have to be wishing for a day game. They'll be wishing for an 11 o'clock kickoff. But if we get game day, I don't believe that'll ever happen. I can't remember very many times that a game day school was chosen for an 11 o'clock kick. But it has happened. I can't remember the last time it happened.
Yeah.
Man, that day's just going to be so crazy. Golly, it's going to be so crazy. And I promise you this, I love going to Oxford, love going to ball games up there. There ain't enough money in the world you could pay me to go to that ball game and be a part of that circus right now. It's just...
It would be asking for it, for me, for my emotional state. I wouldn't even be able to enjoy it, win or lose.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't. It'd just be too much.
Yeah.
Too much. I don't know. I can't even think of what would make me go to Oxford for that ball game. I'd love to. I'd love to say that I supported the Rebels and was there. But again, like you said, emotionally, mentally, I just don't think I can. I just can't do it. I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. But anyway, we'll see. It still hadn't been formally announced, but man, I feel like they're coming. I mean, that's going to be the biggest story in college football at the time.
Yeah.
Way bigger than when we went to Tennessee in 21. You know.
Oh yeah, for many reasons, but number one, it had been 10 years since he had been there, and number two, he didn't leave Tennessee for Ole Miss. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. One of their biggest. That wouldn't. And that even Tennessee, for leave Tennessee to come to Ole Miss ain't near as big of a slap in the face as leaving Ole Miss.
No.
It's like leaving Tennessee going to Alabama, because they have a name for their game. They've been a big rivalry all their life, but that's what that would be.
Yeah, and Lane knew how much Ole Miss people hated LSU, and he still did what he did, and then he just can't understand the outrage. What a prick.
Anyway, he's a prick.
Yeah, anyway, let's go. Let's move forward.
Yeah. I long for the day that we no longer have to discuss Lane.
Me too. I don't even,
It's just, so, moving on, Trinidad buys a house in Oxford. How do you like that? Means he's
Trinidad buys a house in Oxford.
I don't think he's buying that just for a single year. I expect he's deciding he wants to be a part of this community going forward, even after he leaves Ole Miss.
Trinidad Chambliss could take what he is going to make in his last season here, and he could set himself up for life in Oxford.
Yeah. Yes, especially if he chose to live it out in Oxford. You're right.
I mean,
Mississippi as a state, one of the lower cost of living states in the world. It's a nice place to live there in Oxford. Man, if he put that money in there and just let it send him interest checks a month, he could live pretty comfortable.
Live a good life right there.
Yep.
In a great town.
Even if he never takes a snap in the NFL. But I actually, honestly, after watching him play in that Georgia game, I feel like definitely he's going to play in the league. I don't know if he'll be a starter, but he's going to get a chance.
Well, we'll see. Just in the NFL, size is such a it's such a big deal. So I don't know. I really don't know what to say on that, whether or not he can make it.
I didn't say make
Um,
it. I think he's going to get a shot though. He's going to get a
yeah,
chance.
I do think he'll get a shot. Yeah, if he can hang around a roster for a few years, yeah, that's certainly a possibility.
Yeah, get on the pension plan. You know,
Yeah,
get the John Forcade
yeah,
retirement check. You know what I call it, because
yeah,
he played just enough in the league to earn their retirement. So
yeah. He but yeah, Trinidad. If he doesn't do that, Ole Miss will hire him in some capacity there to do something, and he'll have a good life, a good income on top of all the other money that he's made or
yeah, he's
will
from
have made.
the Michigan area, right?
Hmm.
I know we went to Fair State, but I'm up
Yeah,
there, so I mean, obviously, me and you are hometown guys. We ain't straight. I mean, you've moved out and moved around, but you've ended up right back there in the undisclosed location in the woods of Marion County. And me, I'm still living within. I live within 10 miles of the hospital I was born in.
man. If you
So
don't think the pull of home is strong, I had a good job in Miami, Florida when I came back to Mississippi.
the cost of living in Miami is a lot bigger. So yeah, you had a great job, and and I lived. I lived out of state. I had the unfortunate childhood of having to grow up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Imagine that. You didn't get many hotty toddies back in the early '80s and freaking
No,
in Tuscaloosa. You get one every now and then now, but not many. But yeah, I feel like if he chose to live anywhere outside of his hometown, he's invested. Obviously, he's invested in there and in a home already. And you're right. Ole Miss put him on the road as some sort of a recruiting guy. He'd be
anything.
a
Yeah,
home run hire for Ole Miss.
yeah.
Also in Trinidad news, he graduated from Ole Miss yesterday. Received a degree.
Yes, he
Walked the
did.
stage. I'm not really sure at the moment what his degree was in, but not many student athletes are graduating these days. They're just not. College has pretty much became more of a vocational school for the NFL. But so it's
Okay,
nice to see Trinidad actually follow through and earn a degree, walk the stage, get his degree, and that don't
so
happen.
but I have a question. So he's got his degree. And I've seen this before. Every once in a while, you won't see it as much moving forward. But in the past, you hear the announcers talk about players. He's already earned his degree, and this. So this fall semester coming up, when he's playing football, he just doesn't go to class. Doesn't even pretend to go to class. Like there's
He
even
don't
no
have to.
farce of classes.
Yeah, he don't have to go, but let's say he wants to earn a master's in something. He may have enrolled into a graduate degree class or something a school. I mean, obviously to get a graduate degree, you have to apply and be accepted. That's not like a public university just getting in and getting a 4 year associate's degree or something. You have
Yeah.
to, or a bachelor's degree. You have to be accepted into a graduate study. I don't know if he's got any plans to do anything like that. So he may be working towards his master's starting in the fall. I don't know. Yeah, but
Well, if
it'll be a
not,
graduate study. If not, no, he just can do appearances, practice football.
and live in Oxford, Mississippi, in his new house on top of the world.
I mean, can you imagine us at 22 years old?
Ugh.
If we could have been, I don't know if I wouldn't have had the maturity to be able to handle it.
Dude, I was gonna
pray
say
he, I pray that he does.
me too, because if I'm there, early 20s, living in Oxford, probably if not one of, if not the most popular college football player in the country going into the season. Money, you're a good looking dude. I mean,
The only thing I can say that would be just totally unfair is if you went and rescued a puppy. You know, he
if
has
that ever comes out, I'm going to start questioning whether or not the guy's AI, just some
yeah, I
kind of
mean, he rescues a puppy.
robotic
He'll have
creation.
women off. He'll be knocking women off of both arms trying to if he
Man.
rescues a puppy too. So yeah, the things we'll talk about
Um,
here on Rebel Nation Conversation.
Keywan Lacey has his own YouTube channel.
Really?
Don't know if you were aware of that, but if anybody's watching, they're interested, go check out his YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. It's just about um, basically um, what's going on in his life right now. He apparently went and spent a week in South Florida for spring break, and that's all documented with the video log there. Went hunting with Tyler Jordan. They've got it all on video. Turkey hunting, killed his first bird, but one of the videos shows him downtown Oxford on it looked like maybe after a baseball game or something one Saturday night. Oxford just crawling with people anyway, and this guy was like, man, it was like Tom Brady walking downtown Boston.
Yep.
It was like Joe
Episode of
Namath
Entourage.
walking through Times Square in 1968, 69. It was amazing. And so I said that to just go back to something you mentioned earlier about, man, I just hope these guys can keep it all together.
Keep it in
And I'm sure
perspective.
they've got people in their life that's working really hard to keep them grounded. But man, it's going to take some work because anything you could dream or fantasize about, these kids have got it. And that's a lot to control sometimes. And I
Yep.
think Trinidad really comes from good stock. It looks like a great family, great mother. Not sure about Keywan, but I'm sure he does too. And man, like I
Well,
said, I hope somebody is really plugged in with those guys.
well, you could kind of tell. A lot. It was old saying years ago. You could kind of tell how somebody's actually is how they treat old people, women, and kids and dogs. We'll see
Yeah.
how he does. If Kiwan when he's out and about and he's got his entourage about him and he's got a mob of people trying to at least get a handshake or a selfie, I would like to always see how he does to kids, how they interact with children around there. And that's
Yeah.
one thing when I went to the Sugar Bowl this year. I really want to see Caleb Cunningham come on strong this year because, man, he came down and he stood there. He didn't even get a lot of playing time this year, but he stood there before the walk down from the whole team, and he took pictures with every kid that would come up and take pictures, including my grandson. And he had to take the one with my grandson twice because somehow I messed up on taking the first picture.
That was
So,
like leaving the hotel or
yeah, it was right before the team walked down. They was in the hotel lobby, but it's before the whole team came down. He came down by himself and he kind of talked with everybody. Trinidad did too. Keith Carter talked to everybody there. A few
I
people just
bet
kind of
his
filtered down. Then they went back up the escalator and then they all came down as a team. But again, I kind of pulled for Caleb to have a great year just because of the way I saw him interacting with the kids.
yeah.
And that's if we can see Kiwan acting that way or Trinidad acting that way when they're out in public, then I've got a good, I guess I got a good feeling about
You said
how they'll.
Trinidad came down. I bet he would have been tough to get to.
Well, the way that little thing was set up, they had barricades right around the landing of the escalator. So he just walked over to the barricades there, and we were right up relatively close, and so I wasn't able to get a picture with him and my grandson, but he talked to everybody, and was just seemed such a nice guy. Interacted with children really well. So
Yeah.
again, that's how that's my barometer. I see how they treat kids that are idolizing them, and that kind of gives me hope downstream that they're going to be able to handle the fame. Because not everybody can.
We met Trinidad in Oxford after the Tulane game last year, and he was just super friendly. My little nephew got a picture, and unless he's changed from then, he was a class act, So
Well, it definitely got a lot more publicity since the Tulane game last year, but I'm hoping what I saw. I'm very hopeful. But anyway, yeah. Moving on a little bit here. Men's basketball, not a lot of movement this week. I did see. I wished I could save the dadgum thread so I could have easily navigated back to it, but I saw where I think we was like 30th in transfer portal.
31.
Class or something. 31, yeah. Well, I mean, think about that for a minute. Is that really a bad number? I mean, the tournament takes the top 68, and they're talking about even expanding that. And I don't. It's kind of. I think we saw it with Lane Kiffin in the football team here. You don't have to go out and get the absolute best. It's who you get, the position you get. You got to fill the needs, not so much. You don't need star ratings. You just need someone that can come in and fill the role. And if we got the right pieces to the puzzle, I know you're worried about Beard, but man, I don't know if that's a total bad number or not. I just don't know enough about it to know.
Time will tell. I'm
flip side
really
of
worried
that.
about Beard.
On the flip side of that, Coach Yo's transfer class was ranked 4th in the nation.
Yeah, really good. Man, I don't know why or how we lost that Sarah Chinnu.
Sarah Tinu.
I wish I knew what the story was there, man. Our team would have been one of the most talented groups in the SEC with her next year. I just don't understand. There's something we don't know. I'm convinced of that. And boy, I wish they could have worked it out, whatever it was. But because I guarantee you, she didn't plan on going to Auburn.
No,
And that's where she wound up.
And it happened. It was such. She entered it on the very last possible moment to enter the portal. So something happened late.
Something she thought was going to happen didn't happen. And because she entered so late, it didn't give us time to counter. That's what I'm just disappointed about, man. She didn't even give us a chance to undo whatever she think is done, or I don't know. I think it was just, and this is happening a lot. I think it was just a handshake agreement with somebody, and they wound up not honoring their handshake.
Yep.
I really believe that. I think somebody promised her X, Y, and Z, and then when it came right down to it, they didn't deliver. And then it was too late.
Yeah, it boils down to, we know it had something to do with either an NIL or a rev share agreement that she thought she was getting but didn't, and she just said, "The hell with this, I'm gone. If you're not going to appreciate me, I'm gone." But to me, with the exit of Lattimore and McMahon, or McMahon, how you say her name, Sarah Tinu was we needed to hold on to that piece.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Mahon got drafted. She's in the WNBA now, so
Yeah, I
Good
saw
for
that.
her.
Did Lattimore make it?
I don't know. I don't know if she did or not.
When I brought up that about Yo, I was kind of interrupting you. You had a thought you was kind of going to elaborate on Beard there, and I didn't. I just wanted to, while we were talking about transfer classes and rankings, I wanted to kind of go ahead and go into that about Yo, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to sidetrack you though. So you remember what you the thought process?
It was not nothing in particular. I mean, you just mentioned that I was worried about Beard, and I am. For those of you who haven't seen us before, I'm just worried that this new era is not fitting Chris Beard and who he is as a coach and as a man, and what he expects out of players. And he's not a guy that wants to deal with prima donnas. You can just tell. He don't like. He hates all that stuff. He wants a guy that eats, sleeps, breathes basketball, and he wants a low maintenance individual. And with all the money flying around and everything, that just ain't what these kids are now.
No. Well,
So he's having trouble. He's having trouble putting effective rosters together in this era. And at this point, I don't even think that's. I don't even think that's a. I think that's a unarguable fact. Now he did it one time since he's been here, and so this coming season is going to tell us a lot, one way or the other.
yep. Be his fourth year campaign, and
It'll tell us a lot.
well, I've got hopes, but they are guarded. I
Yeah.
guess guarded expectations right now. Well, again, like we said,
How about
folks,
the baseball team, man?
yeah, yeah. So, kind of recap.
Big series win.
Yeah, to kind of recap, the Rebels dropped the series with Arkansas last weekend, right as we were concluding taping. In fact, I think we had just finished taping before the end of the game, but lost it in very heartbreaking fashion. Had the lead going into the ninth, and
Look at this guy.
yeah, he decided he wanted to be on Rebel Nation. Huh?
He's been trying to get on here for the past 20 minutes. So I said, well, let me introduce him to everybody. This is Buck.
Yeah, he's been
Sorry to
around a
interrupt you.
while. Nah,
He's been around a while.
but anyway, we had the lead going into the ninth, and then just allowed the Razorbacks to walk it off and get the win. But that was after we concluded taping last week, so just kind of want to recap that. So, kind of, if there was ever going to be a week where the Rebels just felt down and out and kicked, this would have been it. But man, big win this weekend, man. Brought in the Aggies Friday night and earned the game one victory. But due to some bad weather expected today in the Oxford area, the decision was made to play a doubleheader yesterday. Aggies went off on us in game two and run ruled us. They got a hell of an offense, and quite frankly, the game 1 and 3 are kind of outliers. Game 2 was kind of what I expected from their offense. I thought we'd have to match them blow for blow to beat them, but anyway, they had a juggernaut of an offense, and they exploded in game 2. Run ruled us. Was it 15-5? I think final. But then the Rebels bounced back and in game 3 and got the win in game 3 to take 2 out of 3 against the Aggies, and that was being our last home SEC series of the year. So yes, big win, big win this weekend. Sets us up nicely going to Tuscaloosa this coming week for the last year. So, take care of business up there, and we're a host. Fall flat on our face, and we're at the
Now,
mercy of the committee. Where do we
what
go?
does take care of business mean? That mean win the series or win a game,
Yeah, that
sweep
I
them?
want to win
What
the
does
series.
that mean?
I think we
Win a
got to get
series.
2 out of 3. I think we need 2 out of 3 up there to be a host. Because if we only win one, then we're going to be 15-15. You know, and I don't think 15-15 in the SEC gets us a host side. It ain't bad. Being 500 in the league play is not a bad number. But then it's going to come down there. It's like State right now. You know, they're kind of reeling. They lost the series this weekend at home against Auburn. And tell us about it, Buck.
That's what he thinks about it. So we're 14-12 right now in the
Yes.
SEC.
Yeah.
You know,
So
you mentioned the state. You mentioned the state series. I told you I had something I wanted to mention regarding their baseball program, but I don't know if you've seen it or not. But somebody
excuse
posted
me,
on
we're
the
14
board
and 13. We're 14 and
14
13.
and 13. Yeah, that's right. 14-13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Lose
see?
2 up there, we're 15-15. Go ahead.
Yeah. Did you see Rose Bowl's rant after their? You did see
I
that?
did. I did. I read it, and you know the classic Rose Bowl, man. Classic Rose Bowl. That probably right there can rank right up there next to the Rose Bowl post, the one that got him the nickname. You know.
Well,
He didn't take the series loss to Auburn at home very well.
he did not take that very well. He did not take that. He went after everybody from the fans to the team to the hot dog vendors to the folks feeding the opposing teams and
If
left
you're the
field left.
janitor, you got to be giving us
Yeah.
115%. You know, that means he literally said something along those lines. He got mad at the people that spent thousands upon thousands of dollars for behind home plate tickets for allowing
Auburn fans to buy them.
yeah. So, hey man, nature of the beast. If you can't be there for some reason, you ain't got to eat a $1,000 ticket. That's just what's gonna happen, man. I'll tell. If I was a State fan right now, I'd be telling him to get bent. But I mean,
Well,
you gotta appreciate and respect his enthusiasm, and I tell you what I do. You know, I understand the sentiment because we've all had to sit by obnoxious LSU fans and Vaught Hemingway, or sit by and get madder than hell at the person that sold them tickets. We're in a season ticket section. But so I mean, I get the sentiment, but at the same time, it's the nature of the beast where we're at right now with ticket prices being what they are, and them premium seats behind home plate. Those are premium seats. You pay large amounts of money for that. Not many people's going to eat that price when they got an opportunity to sell it. You know, and they're the ones that fund the whole damn program to begin with. So until he's ready to start writing a check.
well, that's why I was sitting here thinking, man, he's going after the very ones who keep the heart pumping to that program.
Right.
I thought that was kind of weird, but like you said, I get it too. I also understand. I understand too. Along those lines, man, our crowd yesterday was really bad.
Yeah, but graduation was going on in the pavilion, you know, so there was a lot going on at the time of that game yesterday.
Yeah. Is that what you just attributed to? Just that? I mean,
I 100% would put up. You got kids fixing to graduate over there, you're not going to that ball game, you know. And the fact that it was a double header, the game wasn't even scheduled to be played like that, you know.
yeah.
It had to be moved around.
Yeah, that second game was rough.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope that's what it was.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. We've always been really good with our attendance.
Yeah.
This year's been
Well,
so bad.
it was nice to
Could
see
be.
Hunter Elliott kind of bounce back this weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, well, I knew he would. He knew he would. He's too good of he's too much of a competitor. He's too good to do it. Again, let me go back just a little bit. We do have one more game in Oxford. It's scheduled for Tuesday night against UT Martin. I seen where people were praying for a rain out or something right now. Okay, you want to save your arms because number one, it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday game series in Tuscaloosa. So, if you can save all your arms for that, and then the SEC tournament coming up behind that. So there's people who even wanting to rain out. And in fact, I want to say this UT Martin game. I can't guarantee this because a lot of water has rolled under that bridge so far this year, but I think this UT Martin is a reschedule from a rainout game earlier in the year. I think so. It's just like it does. It's not going to matter on conference standings, and it really and truly is probably not going to matter nationally either. It's UT Martin. It could probably maybe even hurt us in RPI. But
win or lose.
Anyway, but then our go to Tuscaloosa for the 3-game series, and man, Alabama's one of those teams that's just been all over the place. It's kind of been like us, if you want to know the truth about it. They were unranked to start the year, then played really hot, got into the rankings, was doing really well, then went through another slow period. So they're very capable. They're a capable team. They're at home, and got a very good. They're very well coached. So. I want 2 or 3, and I think that solidifies. If we get 2 out of 3, that solidifies our chances at hosting. The dropping the Arkansas series last weekend kind of probably knocked us out of national seed, a top 8 seed. But 2 out of 3 in Tuscaloosa, and then maybe make a decent run in the SEC tournament, and. I ain't really got to win it. Don't care if we win it, be honest with you, with the way things are now, Omaha or bust. It's really, I don't even know why it's kind of like the SEC championship game to me. And in football, I wish we wouldn't play it anymore. It makes no sense to have
being a non-baseball guy, you'll have to forgive me if this is a stupid question, but how much sway does the SEC tournament hold in terms of seeding and who even gets in?
I think if you were a bubble team, it's kind of like in basketball, man. You just have to think of it like that. Way down in basketball, you're a bubble team and making the field.
You need some wins,
and you can rack up wins against all quality opponents now. That's the thing.
Yep.
The SEC, it's all going to be quality opponents. So you're going to be earning RPI the whole time, and so, but a team that's solidly in the tournament, the only thing you can be doing is wiping out your arms. State wins the national championship in 21. They lost game 1 in the SEC tournament. They were out. All right, we won at 22, and I think we did the same thing. I can't really remember. So it's. With tournament ball, it all comes down to your pitching. It's kind of like how you said the SEC. You talk about tournament play and basketball being different. In baseball, it comes down to being. It ain't like a weekend series now. You just got to get through 3 games. If you go deep in a tournament, we saw it last year. We made it to the finals in our regional because it was our game 5, and it was their game 4. You know what I'm saying? Just the arms. They had more arms to throw than us.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to go. But there, I feel like we're built for it. If we can just make it to the tournament, we're built for tournament play. We got a really good pitching staff. So anyway, I hope that kind of answers your question. How much it means.
Yeah.
I don't really think the SEC tournament has any leeway on what Ole Miss, our state, would do right now. We're in the tournament. We're going to be in the SEC. We're going to be in the night, but we may be as a hope. If we lose 2 out of 3 this weekend, next weekend against Alabama. A few wins in Tuscaloosa may put us back in the host. I mean, excuse me, a few wins in Hoover might put us back into the host situation in the eyes of the committee. So, so it can sway bubble teams when it comes to either hosting a regional or being in the tournament altogether. But because it's all quality opponents, if we were playing in the Sun Belt, you know, I don't know if Southern Miss can play their way. If they were out of the tournament, I don't know if Southern Miss could play their way into the tournament outside of winning their conference tournament. You know, so because all conference championships will get a chip. So.
Yeah.
A few other things to note, baseball wise. Friday night, Hunter Elliott did reach his 300 strikeout plateau in Game 1 in a game where he turned in an 11 strikeout performance. Pretty dominant. As you said a while ago, he kind of bounced back, showed what an ace looks like. I don't know his exact number, but he is now over 300 strikeouts in his career. So congratulations to Hunter. Rebel third baseman Judd Udemark is now sitting at 48 home runs, tied with Kyle Gordon for the most home runs in a Rebel uniform. So with 4 games left on the schedule, I certainly hope he gets his 49th and beyond.
Me too.
And just kind of on a side note, nothing to do nationally or anything like that, but just between me and you, back on Hunter Elliott, is me and you kind of discussed last week. We were discussing how is he still considered a junior. Well, I did confirm with Chase this week that it was as me and you figured. He got a regular red shirt and a medical for the 24 season. He got a regular red shirt for 23 and got a year back. So, and I'm going to tie this. I'm going to come back to football for a minute. This kind of begs the question: why did the NCAA fight Trinidad so hard? They give medical red shirts out all the time. I just don't understand why it was such a big fight there. I never will. And me and you beat that conversation to the ground. So there's no sense in continuing on. But just the fact that when I found out that that's how Hunter is considered a junior.
Yeah. Well, I knew that had to be the only way it could be.
Exactly. So, but anyway, it is confirmed. That was confirmed. All right. Last thing I've got here is this will kind of be a combination of From the Boards and our Stupid News segment. But did you see where the umpire in the Youth League, I believe it was the Grand Slams travel ball
in
Starkville, got into a fist fight with a parent?
I saw it, man. I saw the video. It was, in my opinion, it was heartbreaking. It wasn't even funny to me.
No, it's not funny. There's nothing funny about it.
No, there was nothing funny about it. It was just very disappointing, man.
And I want to be quite clear.
Humanity.
Yeah, I want to be quite clear here. I'm not, when I say this in Starkville, this has absolutely zero to do with it being in Starkville. This could have happened in Oxford. It could happen in Hattiesburg. It could happen. We're not making aware of the location.
No.
This is just, it's gotten outrageous, I guess. Even when my daughter played softball growing up, I mean, we would have something to say to the umpires from time to time, but for the most part, these guys, they ain't pros. They get paid a little bit, but it ain't very enough to hardly even get them there with the price of gas these days.
Yeah.
And then they just like the game. They like helping out the children. They like and being a part of it. And I don't really. Honestly, I don't know the context. I don't know. Was he just making bad calls? Did parent carry it too far? Obviously, they both overreacted. But I mean, the guy's got to defend himself. But man, this led to arrest.
Yeah. When I first saw it on the board, and I'm sitting there reading this, of course, predictably, everybody's jumping in with their stupid jokes and all that, and And I'm sitting there thinking, man, there's nothing funny about this
Nothing at all.
because nothing at all. You're setting an example for little kids. Little kids are sitting there watching their parents out there involved in this, coaches, people that they've respected and looked up to. And it's just sad, man. It is just it's just sad. I just don't. I cannot understand it. How do you let yourself go like that?
I don't either. I don't either. And you know, and they had Grand Slam had to actually send out an email saying that they had changed some rules of how they were going to allow, uh, you know, interaction between the fans and parents and the umpires. In the email, it was even one time that said that even the utterance of the very common phrase. If you go to a baseball game of any kind, you're going to hear this on a regular basis. The fans are going to say, "Come on, Blue," you know, whether they're upset about a safe or out call or a strike or ball call. That's just a common saying. They're going to say, "Come on, Blue."
Yeah.
And they said that this would be cause for an immediate ejection from the premises.
Now, see, I don't agree with that either.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't agree
nuclear
with
bomb.
that.
That's a nuclear bomb to kill a mosquito there. But they've walked it back. Since then, they've walked that back, said they used that. They knew they were going to get the reaction they did, and they were trying to just get everybody's attention. Well, shit, if that fight didn't get everybody's attention, I don't know what
Yeah.
would. You know, so I didn't think they had to. I think they made it worse by saying something like that because
Yeah,
that's going
yeah.
to get said. You know, you might as well not allow people to even watch the game if you're going to kick them out for saying, "Come on, Blue." You know, it's just going to happen.
In my opinion, you want to talk about causing some problems. I mean, if you start this um, communistic reign of terror over the parents and everybody, then you're going to have more trouble than you had before, in my opinion. But you can make all the rules you want, and you can legislate till the cows come home. But people, grown ups, human beings, have got to stop it. And they got to stop acting like this and setting this kind of example for these kids, man. I mean, I've done a lot of crazy things, but that ain't one of them.
Yeah,
I
I
just,
mean, there was one time, you know, I mean, my daddy. I remember I played baseball. My daddy would tell the umpire, you know, you made that call out of your ass. Your head knows better. You know, something like that. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, if those kind of rules was out back then, my daddy never would have got to see me play a game in my life. You know,
I don't think your dad would have went
no,
out to
he didn't
second
know.
base and physically assaulted
No,
the
so
umpire,
it
though.
was just so it was a sad situation all the way around, and I hate
Yeah.
that. I actually hate it. It puts a black eye to me. It puts a black eye on our state. Uh,
Like we need it.
yeah, we don't need no more help. But I guess the only other thing I got of note, kind of from the board, I guess, would be I seen today, just today, where Ronte Langs passed away.
I
Do you
saw
remember
that.
him?
47 years old.
As you remember him being a part of one of Tommy Tuberville's most
Yeah.
storied classes, and then um,
He was in the Rufus French class.
speaking of Rufus French, another thing there.
Speaking of Rufus French.
Yeah, he got what was it, 15 years or something, right? For do you think he knew what he was doing there, or did he just get caught up in something and it's just wrong place, wrong time, and not being very smart?
Well, it's kind of like that cream scheme thing that hit the Pine Belt a few years ago. I know we both know people that was a part of that and got caught up in that, but at some point, something happens and you find yourself at a crossroad. And you've got to know when it's that much money involved, something don't smell right here.
Yep.
I ain't saying they're bad people, but man, they just got it going downhill and couldn't get it stopped. And but why is it that always when this happens, it's always from the Veterans Fund? That must be just the easiest money to steal or embezzle from.
Yeah. It's sad to me, the whole welfare, anything like that. You know, I hate to see.
Thing. That's not funny to me either. I mean,
Yeah. So, well, that's pretty much all I got this week. What about you, Red?
that's gonna wrap us up, man. Big, huge baseball series next week. We can talk about this later, I guess, but maybe we can get Dunk to come on board maybe next weekend and
Yeah.
kind of
Maybe.
wrap up the regular season with us.
Well, I think it'd be best if we wait on that. Because of me
Follow.
being here at work, it's a little hard to get him in.
Okay, got you.
So
Okay.
next weekend I'll be off and it'll be right there going into the tournament play. You know, so
Yeah, that'd be good.
Be a good time to get him in there. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, yeah, that pretty much does all we had for episode 35 of the Rebel Nation Conversation. Folks, if you like what we're putting out there, please subscribe, like, and share. As always, leave us a comment down there. Let us know what you think we can do better. Hell, cuss us out. Let's get in an argument. We need something. We need to get in something up here. But for the Metal Reb and myself, till next time, howdy toddy, Rebel fans.
Howdy toddy, go to hell, LSU, and if there's a worse place, please go there.